Hey guys, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. Michigan just wrapped up their 34-3 victory over the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Just wanted to give you some of my thoughts after the game, and so let's get started. So obviously, the defense was going to be the strong part of the game, and the rushing attack was going to be the strong part of the game. Especially, let's start talking about those two real quick. Obviously, the defense was going against Purdy, and he honestly led the team, Nebraska, in rushing on those quarterback scrambles. The pass rush was collapsing the pocket and leaving the middle completely open. And so Purdy just ran, and he had, I think, 39 yards rushing. I mean, that's like more than the whole other rest of the Nebraska players had combined. So Purdy did, a lot of damage on the field, annoying damage. Obviously, that his main drive, he had 2 or 3 scrambles there on their field goal drive, helped out again by a roughing the passer penalty for an extra 15 yards. But Michigan obviously shut them down pretty well. You hold a team to 3 points, 70-ish yards passing, 70-some yards rushing. Again, they got some on the last drive. They're like 9 yards, whatever. So the defense was okay, and that's what you expected. I mean, you're going up against a backup, and then Purdy got hurt, and so you went to Smothers, I think, or Smoothers, whatever his name was. So you're going against a third-string guy, and, obviously Nebraska didn't do much of anything offensively. So the defense was fine. It was solid. You can't really complain too much. Again, they give up like one fade pass on the first drive or whatever. I just don't know why other teams don't, especially inferior teams like a Rutgers, like a Nebraska. Why don't they just do fade routes like the whole game until Michigan actually takes it away? I don't remember Nebraska trying like a fade go route again. They'd hit one, and then that was like it. I don't understand. The defensive pass rush was wanting. I think they officially had 1 sack in the game. I think another one in garbage time there, the guy got a yard gain, so it wasn't a sack. It was kind of disappointing, I would say, that the team didn't do a better job attacking and getting sacks. They got close-ish, but like I said, then they just let Purdy leak out and get yards and first downs. So overall, the rush game, outside of Purdy's yards, based on my quick math, Michigan gave up 36 yards rushing in the game. I know there's 1 sack in there, so adjusted and all that will be a little bit more for the running backs and such. But you're basically talking like under 45 yards rushing for the whole game. Okay, that's pretty good, right? So the defense played well. They dominated like they should have. Good enough. No turnovers forced, sadly, hoping you'd get another turnover too, like the Rutgers game, but didn't happen. Let's talk about the offense. The good of the offense. Blake Corum, 168 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. I know ABC had him listed as 2, but he didn't get 2 touchdowns. He only had 1. Unless I'm completely wrong in my stat book. But 168 for like 5.8 yards per carry, 1 touchdown, right? He played very well. The thing that came out was obviously Donovan Edwards was a little nicked up or something, maybe before the game. I didn't read any injury reports. I was busy with my brother. And he only had like 2 carries in the whole game. So it was kind of like the Blake Corum show, and then he got a little bit of Stokes in there a little bit too, and Gash got a couple carries, and, so it's kind of more like committee, especially in the second half. So the rushing attack was fine. But then we got to talk about the passing. Michigan was really hoping that the passing attack was going to take a turn against Rutgers. At least I was. Maybe Rutgers wasn't really the team to attack passing. Michigan was able to pass, so they got a couple passing touchdowns. Obviously, JJ got a passing touchdown to Bell, and I think it was him. I might be mistaken, but I think he was still in there when they threw to Bell on the swing route, and Bell fumbled it, and Andrell Anthony recovered it. I think that was, but maybe it was Warren was in there at that point. Anyways, so that could have been 2 passing touchdowns in the game. It wasn't, just 1, officially. Now, but the big elephant in the room is that I have to just call it out. I'm a Michigan fan, but JJ has regressed. I don't know if it's the team telling him again now Cade's officially out. He's not coming back. JJ, you're our guy. So, he's did absolutely. He had a touchdown run. Great, nice at the goal line, nice play. He's not keeping the ball at all on any zone reads, and his throws are pretty inaccurate. Again, if it was he was either 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 on long throws, right? Most of them are not even close. I mean, it wasn't perfect conditions, but you're not even going to get a pass interference call. Those balls are so missing their mark, right? They're not even close. You're not going to get a pass interference on most of those throws. I really think Michigan needs to forget about the deep shot. I mean, the deep, like, one-on-one touchdown throw. JJ seems to be relatively accurate on the 10 to 15, 20-yard routes. And then I also got to call out, like, Michigan needs to do some more short routes. Like those 6, 7-yard routes. Like, he was doing those great in the beginning of the year. And that's why his accuracy was awesome. And just picking apart defenses, taking what the defenses are giving him. I don't really think the defenses are taking that away. The defenses should be crowding the box trying to stop Corum. And so those outside edges should be open for attacking with the tight ends or some quick, stop, drop routes, whatever. The wide receiver just stops right there. And those guys should be open, or just a quick hitch out to the boundary. I mean, you saw Warren do a couple of those passes. It's like, I think Michigan is almost kind of hindering its own offense by the play calling. Like, okay, we're going to work on the deep shot. And it didn't work at all. And you saw that one drive, Michigan got a first down run, and Corum got 12 yards, and then Michigan did one deep shot. Way overthrown. Second deep shot. Through Johnson's hands, would have been a spectacular catch. But still. Then third down, and you throw like a 4 or 5 yard route, and that's also short, and you're punting. Like, I know you want to work on things, but also throwing that like 25-yard route to Ronnie Bell on the first or second drive was pretty nice. You don't always have to take a deep shot to get the payoff. JJ throws pretty accurately on the run. He throws pretty accurately on those 10 to 15-yard passes. Now, obviously, there's a concern because last week he was under 500 passing. This week he's under 500 passing. So 2 weeks in a row he's under 500 passing. I'll be honest, I am worried heading into Ohio State week because Ohio State, maybe Michigan can just power them over, but if you cannot pass the ball, at least even respectably, how are you going to beat Ohio State? You just become a one-headed monster when you really need both going in. 2 weeks in a row, the passing game has been blah. I think last week it was 151 yards. Today it was 128 by JJ. That's not going to cut it, man. It's not like it was terrible conditions. It's not like it was super snowy and super windy. No, it wasn't that way at all. So, little concerned. I'll be honest. I'm concerned. A couple little thoughts, too. I think Jim Harbaugh had a subpar coaching game. The end of the first half, Michigan was moving the ball, and then they could have called a timeout on 4th and 1 with about a minute to go. I get where you let that run down, but I also understand that they could have gotten another timeout there real quick once they got the first down. They let more time run off after the 4th and 1. Then, there was like 10 seconds to go. They didn't call a timeout. So it was this very bad clock management by Harbaugh there. We ended up using one timeout, and that was just after the Johnson got us down to the 10-yard line or something, and you only had 5 seconds left, so you just had to take the field goal. Wasted a ton of time, ended the half with 2 timeouts, so that was just a screw-up there, total screw-up. So I gotta call that what it is. Harbaugh blew that one. I also gotta say his challenge of the potential fumble, I think, was just dumb. Maybe they just thought we got to do this real quick because we think we got it, but it was a waste of a challenge. Because clearly the second shot showed that he was down, the runner was down. It wasn't a fumble, so I don't know why we wasted a timeout there. It's almost like Harbaugh's like, we're not going to waste all our timeouts or not use them in the second half, so let's call a timeout here and here and here. Oh, and then at the end of the game on that last second field goal to make it 34-3. So, clock management was a problem. I got to say that was a screw up there, and you can't afford to do that. Just like last week, Michigan had to settle for a long field goal because they just blew their time at the end of the game in the first half against Rutgers and had to kick a 50-yarder, which Moody missed. But again, Michigan had a chance to get a touchdown that last game and again today, and poor clock management. Just what it is. I'm going to call it out. Spin it positively a little bit. Michigan won 34-3. Michigan's now 10-0, first time since 2016. So I try not to be too negative. Obviously, Michigan's playing well enough to win these games, but I'm just worried about big picture where the passing game is just not clicking. I really thought JJ would have a great year with Andrew Anthony. Like, they practice with each other a lot, right? Doesn't seem to have any rapport with him. And it seems like his main guy is Ronnie Bell. Like, I would almost think Ronnie Bell probably caught like 4 or 5, at least over half of his completions today were probably to Ronnie Bell. It's like, need to spread the ball out a little bit more. I know Michigan won convincingly in the end, but just the classic game where you're just going to beat a team that you are much better at. Just take it 4 quarters, and there was never really a contest, but just, wish it would be like 45-3, 52-3, something like that. Oh well. It is what it is. So, those are just some of my thoughts. What do you guys take away from this game? Are you concerned about JJ McCarthy? Do you think Michigan is playing well enough right now to beat Ohio State? I mean, obviously last week Ohio State played terrible against Northwestern. They played great against Indiana today. So don't get me wrong, you can have bad weeks and good weeks. But I'm concerned about the passing game. Are you guys? The running game's going good. Hopefully Edwards comes back all right. I mean, where was Schoonmaker today too? I didn't see him out there at all. Cole Loveland got a lot of play. So injuries are kind of catching up with Michigan a little bit too. So that's a little bit worrisome as you run down the last couple games of the year. So hopefully people can get healthy. Of course, Mike Morris at the end of the game there too, he got hurt. Looked like his hamstring. Hopefully it was just a cramp. But it looked like he kind of pulled his hammy, and hopefully it's not fully like, a bad one, and hopefully he'll be able to be back at least for the Ohio State game, you hope. Hey, those are just some of my thoughts. I know a long video, I kind of rambled. I'm sorry about that. Just, it's a great win-ish. Right, 34-3, like, yeah. Like, okay, that's what I expected, but I just was hoping it would be more entertaining than it was. That's all. Hey, again, let me know your thoughts in the box below. I'll try to respond as I'm able to. Thanks for watching, and until I see you guys next time after Michigan versus Pitt, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday next week. As always, go blue!